Man, thanks for showing up. I really do appreciate it, dude. Josh Jordan, in case anybody doesn't know, and you got your new movie out that you sweated balls over and crowdfunded and worked your ass off for a couple
we
of
just won
years.
the Dallas International Film Festival.
And
Best Narrative Feature.
And that's
Dallas, Texas for you.
I mean, look, man, I know it's just Dallas, Texas, but we're building. We're international film recognized, right? Like,
This is my first
I remember when it was Deep Ellum Film Festival,
I know,
and now
man.
it's Dallas International Film Festival.
And then we go from here.
Dude, so what is the story of that? Like, what happens? Do you submit now? Like, you won, so that's got to help the next
we
one.
have like 40 film festivals that we've submitted to, so look out for France.
If you get to Sundance, can you get me there for $20?
Yes, of course.
For real?
Yeah, just buy my beer.
I'm gonna replay this later. You know that, right? Yeah. Don't
the name of it?
Don't edit that, Clark. So this movie, like, obviously, I've been talking to you about it for a while.
Right.
What you do, and it's blowing my mind. So that world won't.
And
This world won't break.
it's This World Won't Break.
This world won't break.
And I've known you for almost 20 years, 15
Close. It's getting
15
real close.
years.
You didn't before Kelly. Which
Yeah,
was
and the
great for
films
12, so
and the films about the struggling artist. Like, there's always the movie about the guy who like makes it.
Yep.
There's always the film about the guy who like falls from stardom.
It's just 0.5% of the world that
Exactly.
tries.
And then so we made a film about a guy who like he doesn't make it.
Yeah.
So then what?
Yeah, absolutely.
So what do you do?
Yeah.
And you have like
It's the
you have
reality
a
of the
wife
world.
and you have kids.
That's the real
What do you
reality.
do?
That's the real reality.
And that's the film we made.
You know it's okay, right? We don't always have to have everything figured out. We don't always have to carry that around. Past. Sometimes people make their own choices and we just gotta move on.
She's gonna be a lot farther along than I am right now.
Who cares if no one knows who you are right now? Because in 50 years, when we're all long gone, people are gonna be telling their grandkids about Wes Milligan.
From an artistic side,
Right.
it's funny because, like, you know, my son's like, my wife was a, college trained photographer, and I was a musician.
Yeah.
That's how you met me.
She's great, by the way.
Yeah,
And I
she's,
love her stuff.
yeah. Say the same about your wife.
Oh, yeah.
We married way the fuck
We
up.
did. We
By the
married
way,
up.
we
Cheers to that.
way married up.
Yeah,
Our
thank you
wives
to our
make us
wives.
look way prettier and cooler than we actually are. In our house, we promote all of it. And,
Right.
and my kid wants to go to the same like creative high school that you did,
Right.
performing arts. And he's kind of a guitar guy. So we're
Right.
like, dude, you got to put in your practice because these fuckers are going to like ellipse you if you don't. And,
Right, chord,
so it's kind of a,
Just
it's,
be you, yeah.
yeah, and there's that weird thing you get as a parent, and that's really cool that you're on the same bit. So, and then you had this weird
My
thing
thing
where,
was like, don't do what I do.
right? But do what I'm doing now.
But then they grow up and they're in my shit, so
Yeah.
it's weird.
Well, your kid, because your kid's what, 17?
Yeah,
your
17
oldest?
and 15.
I mean,
Yeah.
both your kids. And
Yeah.
by the way, Sonny,
Yeah.
man, I'm going to say this. Like, again, I think this goes back to your direction on your movie. And
thanks.
this is where I mean this as this is as a film nerd, not as a friend.
Right.
The fact that you directed all of your actors
Right.
to come out of just normal life and be actors was
Right.
really cool. But you took Sonny's your youngest.
Yeah.
I was getting
My
confused.
youngest.
I always get Sonny Bear and
Sonny's
yeah.
He's the youngest.
So he's on the porch
Yeah.
with Greg,
Yeah.
and Greg's playing a song, and
Yeah.
you've got this cool musical thing going in your movie where you play
Right.
the full songs.
Yeah,
Like,
full songs.
First of all, okay, so I'm a musical nerd
Yeah,
in the
right.
sense that I wish every day we could all just
I know, man.
erupt into choreographed dances and songs together.
course, yeah.
So it wasn't that kind of musical,
Yeah.
but it was still musical. It was cool.
Yeah.
The fact that he sat there on the porch, tapped his toes,
Yeah.
rocked his feet,
Yeah.
did his thing while Greg sang the
Still
whole
did his
song,
lines, yeah.
and still looked at him like I'm into this song and this is a moment in my life. Like he
Right.
really like pulled that off. That was
He did.
really fucking
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah. And that was not talked about.
Oh, keep on the sunny side, they say. So the sun is better than the rain. The blue sky's no more than a canvas. The clouds and the pictures they paint. They say throw your eyes to heaven, 'cause the fire beneath your feet will never grow cold. Well, my soul lives in the rock, and my heart, it got rolled. I'll take no more wooden nickels. Carnival is leaving town. We'll put my trust in nobody, so nobody let me down. So nobody let me down.
I think that's just part of being a parent.
Yeah.
I think it's just part of being like, you know, we're doing what we do, and you can't overthink stuff. Like the guys from this brewery,
Yeah. Yeah. Steam Theory. Yeah.
Steam Theory,
Yeah, man.
that was amazing, man.
Yeah.
Those guys are just like real dudes.
Fun guys.
Who they believe in this.
They do. Yeah. It's really
And
cool.
if you believe in this,
Yeah, man.
If I believe in this,
Yeah.
if Josh Florence believes in
Yeah.
this,
Yep.
then that's what makes
Yeah.
the world go around.
It's for real.
It really does.
It really is. It's a trip, man. Like
And you believe in this. This is what you do.
to the
I love
crew,
this.
to Clark and Joe, our
Yeah, if
crew.
it wasn't for
Yeah,
you.
we don't give them enough kudos,
No, we
man.
don't.
We
And
need
that-
to.
You guys are
It's cool.
amazing.
Well, that's a funny thing. So, with with Sid, like, who's my youngest,
Right.
and we talked to him, and there's this whole idea of like, keep him submerged in the arts,
Right.
keep him moving in it,
Right.
and then trying to realize that there's this. He's still 10.
Right.
Like that's the hardest part. This is where I'm leading in. Is
Yeah.
where how much hardship was that? Because here's what I say. So Joe, who does our sound over here,
Right.
so Joe does. He's got, actually, Joe and Clark, they have Magical City, and Magical City is kind of a family YouTube show, and Joe's kids are heavily involved.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, it's actually fun. They
Yeah.
play games, they build Legos, but there's all kind of like cool
Right.
tech shit in the
Right.
editing, and
Okay.
these guys are amazing. So, I was talking to Joe about it. So like, he was like, man, the hardest thing for me to learn was get the fuck out of the way.
Right.
Like they're kids. Let them be kids.
Right.
Get
Of
your
course.
adult brain
Yeah.
and throw that fucking thing out the window.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
all the shit you've learned and what you think makes this stuff happen,
Yeah.
kids have this innate ability to just
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
And then when he goes, when I learned to get out of the way and quit trying to tell my kids, no, you need to do this. You need to think about
Right.
this. You need to act this way. Here's how the product comes in a whole that we think about as adults.
Right.
When you let the kids go, you go back, he goes, man, I go back and edit that. And there's fucking magic in there.
Right, right.
There's magic in
Of
kids.
course.
There's magic in youth.
Yeah.
And it's something that can't be taught. It's there. It's actually taught out of you.
Right.
And that was a really like cool moment because me and my wife have sat around with our kid, our 10-year-old, and like him and his friends, and we're kind of going, man, they need to do this, they need to do that, they need to do
Yeah.
this and that. And Joe was like, no, get away from that.
Yeah.
And trust me, I learned the hard way, and
Yeah.
let them go. And kids are amazing. And I was
Yeah.
so long way of getting to it.
Yeah.
Curious how much of Sonny's a little older though than 10,
Yeah.
but
yeah. He's
15, right?
now. Yeah.
but
yeah.
how much of was getting out of his way happened? Or did he need a lot of direction? This is something I don't know about. And I wonder.
I threw him to the wolves. It's
fucking beautiful.
Do you want to be a part of this? He said, yeah. I said, well, here's the deal.
That's beautiful, dude.
Like, I'm not your dad, I'm a director.
Yeah.
And I heard him, because, had the headphones on, I heard he goes, come on, son, get it together. And he was like talking to himself. And I was like, and he actually says something in the film. He says, I'm Sonny Valentine. And he didn't even say his own name right. Instead of Sonny Valentine,
Yeah.
he said Sonny Valentine.
Awesome.
But I was like, oh, that's so beautiful.
Leave it there.
Just
Yeah,
leave
just
it.
leave it. Leave
'Cause
it.
He was so vulnerable.
It's so great.
And I was like, I don't want the vulnerability to
Yeah.
go away.
No.
I want
It's
the
wonderful.
actual like truth to come out.
It's wonderful.
And he did it. Man, he killed it.
He went to the country mart. Said he had a hankering for sardines.
Sardines, huh? You must be Sonny.
Yes, sir. Sonny Valentine.
Well, Sonny Valentine, is that thing loaded?
Yes, sir. Just put in a whole new batch of BBs.
You mind? Hadn't shot one of those in ages.
No, sir, I don't mind, but we'll need to find some cans for targets.
I can fix that real quick. Abracadabra.
And when he's singing that last song
Yeah.
in the film,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the okay. All right. Hang on. Because this is funny. Because
Yeah.
I haven't even. The funny part is we've had up-teen conversations about
Yeah.
this film in our house because this is what we do when we see movies.
Of
We're
course.
movie nerds. We haven't even talked about the last part of this.
Yeah.
Film. Like I assume some point in our conversations we're
Yeah.
gonna get to that last part.
Right.
Dude, your decision to make every player
Yeah.
in the film sing part of the song.
Yeah. It's a musical.
It's a musical,
Yeah.
and that really actually that brought it. Here's what's funny through the whole thing. I'm like, oh, he's letting the whole songs play. And to me, it was very. I talked about this earlier, but I think the whole part to me became that was the currency of it. Like
Right.
Wes is only current. Wes is
Right.
the character. His only currency was his song. He couldn't talk.
Right.
He couldn't have that social interaction.
Right.
He had songs, and we
Right.
all know that person in art.
Of course.
But at the end, when everybody sang his song after stuff, I don't want to give a spoiler.
Yeah.
But that was the point where in that movie I went, this is a musical.
It's a musical.
And what's funny is I heard the whole songs throughout the thing. I never thought about it being this musical.
That was
I
his.
just-
He played it before. I know.
It was fucking
You're Gonna Miss Me
wonderful.
When I'm Gone is a song that he played.
Oh yeah. No,
Yeah, in the
and
middle. Yeah.
again, without a spoiler,
Yeah, without spoiler. Yeah.
for that song to come back immediately when it happened, it made sense.
Yeah.
And with them singing it, it made sense. And
Right.
at that point, I would look back at the entire 2 hours before, and I went,
Right.
"This was a musical.
It was a musical.
This was a goddamn musical
It
with an
was.
amazing fucking soundtrack
No.
that just
Yeah.
worked on a
Thanks,
different
man.
level, and it was
Yeah.
really cool. And it was
It's a modern day musical.
it was random, dude. It was just, I mean, that thought, and I was sitting there, and I'm just like, I'm admiring the film, and I'm on it. Like, I'll be completely
I
honest.
love music. I mean, we're here.
No.
We're here at Off the Records.
We're at a record
And
store bar.
I
Yeah.
met you because you were playing music.
Absolutely,
And
yeah,
I was just a bartender
Mhm.
at the time, and I was enamored
Yeah.
by your music.
yeah.
You guys. I mean, you guys could have been huge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway,
yeah. It's the way life.
I mean-
it's life.
I say, oh, now mama, your daddy got them deep island blues. I say, oh, now mama, daddy got them deep island blues. No matter which way I go on now, you know I'm bound to lose.
There was another cool part of the movie in finding out, and this is sort of a backstory part that you only find out if you're at the premiere or you watch your social
Right.
media, that Julian,
Yeah.
17 years old,
yeah.
basically edited this
He
film.
edited the entire film. Yeah, my
'Cause
17-year-old.
I can only imagine you had a 7-hour movie before you
I did.
started.
It was 5.5 hours. And he cut it down to 2 hours and 20 minutes. He was like, Dad, you have to let it go.
Yeah.
To have your own son tell you to let it go, there's how many times in my life have I told him, dude, just let it go. That's what's beautiful about
Dude,
being
I
a
remember
family.
guitar players going, that fucking fourth verse is just ridiculous.
But just being like family,
Yeah.
and like we've talked about it, like
Yeah.
we're honest.
Mm-hmm.
And I've told him to let things go. He's told my wife to let things go. And we've told Sonny to let things go. And for him to like, gotta let it go, man.
That's cool.
It's fine.
It's great.
And we have something that people can see. The whole film, for me, as I said, I want some German or French kid to watch this film 50 or 30 years from now and understand what Dallas, Texas
That's
is about.
wonderful.
Because that's what we
you
get.
hit it, dude. You hit it. I mean, the number of
Well, I mean,
locations
seeing,
you
like, seeing
picked.
you play years ago.
Yeah.
And like y'all's struggle. And
Yeah, man.
y'all's playing.
Yeah.
I was always like, these guys are going to be huge.
Yeah.
And you were
Yeah.
huge to me.
Yeah.
And so the film is to the artist.
Yeah. No,
see
no,
it.
man, and that was actually another part of the cool part of the film. And I mean, this whole thing we're doing right now is about your
Right.
film. And it's so, okay, complete disclosure.
Yeah.
I'm a film guy. I'm a
Right.
movie guy. I
Yeah.
fucking love it. And I love character studies.
Right.
And I knew going into this was a crowd-funded first
Yeah.
run. Like I've talked to you and we've talked about this. We've been
Yeah.
friends for a long time. that this has been a struggle going on.
Yeah.
And I went into it knowing like, okay, this is going to be one of those first film,
This
like
is an
character
indie-
studies.
This is an indie film.
It's an indie,
Yeah,
it's a
yeah.
low budget thing, it's
Yeah.
going to be slow, it's going to be this, it's going to be that. And there were parts of that, I'm not going to
Of course.
sugarcoat it, but that's kind of, it's not a fucking action, not a Bruce Willis movie, right?
No.
But somewhere in there, you found the ability, or not even the ability, you found the direction and the idea to put forth the movie of what the struggle of being an artist really is.
Yeah.
And this comes from someone who has done it and knows a lot of people who have done it.
Right.
And quite frankly, I was on the very commercial side of it in the
Right.
sense that I was like, man, fuck being the cool guy in the bar forever. I'm
Yeah.
either going to play for 40,000 people or I don't want to do this shit anymore.
Of course.
And so I put my name on the side of a van and I
Yeah.
fucking did everything I could to do it.
I was there for that.
And this is before Facebook and social media,
Yeah,
so it was like really
man.
hard.
It was.
You know, and I remember A&R reps in Nashville going, hey man, I can look you up in Texas and Arkansas and Oklahoma and I can see you, but you're not anywhere else.
Right.
And until you get there, I can't do anything because shit's changed. And
Right.
I'm just like, fuck do I do that?
Yeah.
So, and that was someone who was like doing it.
Right.
But there were a lot of artists who had like, they had their songs, which was
Right.
Greg
Right.
or Wes.
Right.
And they had their paintings and they
Right.
had their acting and they had their methods and
Right.
didn't understand that it was more than that to do it. And
Right.
so you kind of, whether you were that person that was all about your art and didn't what the film was, or
Right.
whether you were that person who was busting their fucking balls,
Right.
which was what I considered
course.
myself as,
Of course.
and still couldn't get headway, 99.9% of people
Right.
who you know the names of on a poster
Right.
never do anything but coast.
At all.
And you found that part, and that
Yeah.
was a really cool part of the film
Oh,
that I
cool.
thought was really cool. And I know that it's not a stroking thing to your accolades of that, but it's
Right.
more the fact that you were an actor first,
Yeah.
and you were in that same boat,
The story's about me.
and through music,
The story's about me.
I love that.
I just used Greg as a vessel.
and I
because
loved it. Yeah, that was yeah.
I can film him better.
And by the way, if I may applaud you and say my coolest thing that I ever found out about you after I knew you
Yeah.
was for some random fucking reason. I can't imagine. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I promise I wasn't stalking and searching
Yeah.
you. There's somehow I ended up on your IDB page.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
IMDb, whatever
yeah,
the fuck that is. IMDb.
Shout out to them.
And I saw Hedwig and the Angry Inch.
Yeah.
And you were the fucking jukebox.
Yeah.
Dude, I think I even sent you a text. I was
Yeah.
like, are you fucking kidding me? It says 10 years after you've done it. And I was like,
as well.
Thanks again, Dr. Miller. I'm gonna have my band write a song about you.
yeah, but that's awesome. And that was a cool show. But Hedwig was
I know.
fucking rad.
And now I actually find my point as being a director.
Yeah.
Because I thought like being an actor, I was trying to tell a story.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Because you go to auditions and you get turned down, and I realized, like, well, fuck it.
Yeah.
I'll just write it.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Man,
It's
thanks
awesome.
for having
That's
me.
awesome. But again, not to diminish,
Yeah.
you were the fucking jukebox on Hedwig, dude.
I know.
No, that's one of my, like, I love that movie. I found that, like, I saw that movie 8 years before I found it.
Yeah.
And I loved it. No,
Yeah.
so
That film.
I didn't mean to detract. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to take it back to that. It's just one of those, it's a geek
No, that's the
moment. It's
biggest
a nerd
compliment.
moment for me.
It's
Like,
a nerd for me as well.
When I saw that, I
John
freaked out. I was
Cameron
like,
Mitchell
holy
is, like,
shit.
the hero.
That's fucking
And
awesome.
that guy makes amazing films. Julian came last night and sang was like,
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, really? He's like, oh, no.
yeah, because he's
That's
in
funny.
the film,
Yeah.
and then he's doing acting at Booker T. So
You both of you guys in Booker too. My
yeah,
kid wants to.
Yeah, they're both at Booker T. But they're both like, I mean, they grew up on the road, man. They grew up in the Polyphonic
dude.
Spree tour van.
Yeah, man.
And they grew up at the City Tavern, and they grew up at the Okra House Theater.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
they're just like,
Yeah.
all the things that I wanted to do,
Yeah.
they did it, and they're kind of like, I'm good.
Yeah. That's so
Like,
cool.
my parents were like, don't go to bars. It's
Yeah.
the devil. And I went to bars, and I was like, this is amazing.
I know, all right. It was the most
And
amazing
then I
thing ever,
freaked
yeah.
out,
Yeah.
and I spent so much time like
Yeah.
negating what I probably should have been doing.
Mm-hmm.
And my kids are already doing it
Yeah.
at the age of 17 and 15.
I know, man. My
Like-
kids are full bore in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, my kids, so when we first met, I was still playing music. And so, like, I would take my kid to, I mean, he would go to Deep Elmar Festival.
Right.
We were playing on the main stage.
Right.
And he would hang out with the drummer on stage.
Right.
Like, it was cool. And then, you know, he would come to bars. I mean,
It
I didn't
become-
keep him
it
there at
becomes
11
the-
o'clock at
well,
night.
it becomes
but,
the
you
normal,
know.
though.
Yeah. And then our 10-year-old
you-
now,
Yeah.
as a home brewer, I've got 4 taps on the back porch.
right.
You know, and
Right.
and well, I've chased Jen, and there's
And he knows your music.
and my 10-year-old doesn't know the music as much as it's already out.
Right.
He knows I did it.
Right.
He knows this YouTube thing more because he's
Well,
YouTube
that's the whole
fantastic,
world,
like
yeah,
everybody
of
is. But yeah, it's a weird thing. I mean, we're trying to figure out like kind of how to balance like the whole like alcohol lifestyle to a kid.
Of course.
It's weird. But my 20-year-old won't drink anything. He's just like, it
My
tastes like
sons
shit.
Yep.
He didn't even care. He's like, I don't care about any of the other part of it. It
Right.
just tastes like shit. Why would I drink it?
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like,
So
okay.
he always
that's cool.
asks, like, he's like, can I try that? He's like, oh, I don't like that.
Yeah, my 10-year-old on the other hand's like, I turned 21, I'm drinking beer. You know, of course, granted, we had him at like Brew Riot, Homebrew
Right.
Festival, and he was dipping his finger in it going, that one's nutty. And that one's more chocolate than that one.
Right.
And you're kind of, how can you not help but geek
Right.
out on that? Like, oh my
Yeah.
God, like my 8-year-old can tell the difference in flavor. Like, that's rad.
Right.
And so, yeah, it's a weird thing. Like, it's a super weird balance. But I mean, you have to do it. And if you don't expose them to that thing,
always
I think you
feel
do a
like
bigger
it's-
disservice, you know?
It's like raising kids. It's like it's knowing the substance, and it's not an escape.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just part of life. Like,
Yeah.
my kids drink wine. They go to communion. We're
Awesome.
we're the Orthodox Christian.
Right on.
And so the whole thing is like, they don't like it. They
Yeah.
don't even like coffee
Yeah. Yeah.
yet.
They're not supposed to, though.
But they're not supposed to.
Yeah. There's that weird.
And they will, though. They will
Yeah.
enjoy it. But for me, it was an escape. And for them, they just like being around us. My 17-year-old still like crawls into bed.
Yeah.
We watch films together.
Mhm.
And same with my 15-year-old.
Yeah.
Like, we're just, and he's like, hey, Dad, you're getting weird.
Yeah.
Like, he'll call me out.
When I go to my brew club, once
I
a month.
love that. Like,
Yeah.
Dad, you're getting weird.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, shit.
I know.
So
I
I button myself up.
I'm the weirdest guy in the world with my 10-year-old. Oh my God. So yeah, when I
That's
have,
the biggest compliment,
Oh, I
though.
know. Oh,
that
my
your
God.
kid, like, realizes, like, hey, Dad,
yeah,
get it in check.
you're doing something. Yeah, yeah, I know.
And for them,
Yeah,
they're processing the whole
Yep.
experience.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Well, pockets full of fists and a fist full of land. Well, the money is all gone. What's money well spent? On bourbon, booze, and cigarettes, and walls and shoes. That's where it went. All because of you. You told me that you loved me. I believed you, yes I did. Then you left me all alone. You left me on the skid. You were saying something about thought I could be the one. You just picked up your purse and you moved on. Now you're gonna miss me when I'm gone. Now you're gonna miss me when I'm gone.
There was a funny show. I don't know if you ever saw it. There was a show on VH1 one time. They came out with the show. I think it only went one season, and I assume because they put so much of the reality
Right.
in it that people didn't want to watch it.
Right.
The show is called Driven.
Okay.
And the show took super celebrities like musicians, and they told their like for real true stories.
Right.
And they had a Gary Allen country guy.
Yeah.
So he was talking about one time that like, he's like, yeah, so I worked my ass off, I plugged up. But the fact is, he was selling used cars.
Right.
He had a cassette tape of a demo that a friend made on a Tascam or something.
Right.
A friend of his selling cars had it in the car. He was showing the car to a couple. The couple loved country music. The tape was in. And she was like, what is that? He's like, oh, it's one of our salesmen. I'm sorry. She goes, no, let it play. And they went back, and if I remember the story correctly, I don't even think they bought a car. But they went in and found him and said, what does it take to make this move? And he goes, well, I have to make a legit record, like a legit demo. And they wrote him a check.
Oh, wow.
And he was like, from that point, I pushed and I did everything I could to make it happen. But had that couple not come in to buy that car, this would have never happened. You wouldn't know Gary Allen right now. And then Kid Rock was the coolest story. Like, you know, he had labels on a rap game, white rapper thing.
Of course,
And then Vanilla Ice came out and it kind of became a joke.
Yeah.
So all these
It
people were
did.
like, yeah, fuck it, let's get out of that.
Right,
with the
right.
white guy.
Of course, yeah.
And then later on, he's trying to make it back, and he sold tons of records in Detroit. And he took his last bank account and was like, "We're making light boards, and I'm renting this place out. We're making this crazy thing, and I'm getting every record extra guy out."
Yeah.
One guy showed up, and he had the show of his lifetime, and this was all or nothing. One record guy showed up and went, "That was fucking amazing, and let's sign it."
And that happened.
So the show was all about the fact that it's hard work.
Yeah.
You can't negate the hard work, but there's a stroke of luck that happens too.
Yeah.
And it was funny that I think that thing only lasted, like, it came away. And
Right.
I think people don't want to hear that, like, you got to have some luckiness and you got to have some work.
Yeah.
And the cool part was, like, yours was work, but the luck also came in the fact that this is shitty to call it luck,
Right. No, it's fine.
but it's
luck,
real.
Luck is real.
In the sense that
Luck is real.
through your time bartending, and I'll say this, man, to people bartending and being in some sort of parameters of an
Right.
industry you want to be in, be good to people.
Be good. Be nice.
Because, man, you were like one of
Yeah.
the most solid dudes out there.
Oh, thanks,
And
man.
you were serving us beers, and you were booking us for shows.
Right.
And you had us in tavern, and,
Right.
and my wife and I even had our wedding party there. And
Right.
you were bartending, and
Yeah.
you treated everybody there like they were the most important people in the world.
Of course, because they
And
are.
But you always treated us like that.
Yeah.
So later on, you're doing a movie, and I'm just fucking enamored because you're the coolest guy I ever met. And you treated me like I was the coolest guy you'd met. And you treated,
'cause
I'm
you
sure,
are.
100 people like that.
Yeah. No, I haven't.
No, but
There's very few of us.
but the point is,
Right. Go
Thank
ahead.
you.
Yeah.
but the
of
point
course.
is like you be good to people and people get back. So like you crowdfunded this, you made this movie on a shoestring.
Yeah, I think Gary Vaynerchuk always says this. If you please follow Gary V, maybe there's a pop up on this. Is he always says there's patience and persistence
Right.
and luck.
Nice.
But if you don't follow those three, you don't fucking make it.
Yeah, because they don't all come together.
Dude, I've known you for how long?
Yeah.
And this is just now happening. It's patience.
Yeah.
It's persistence.
Yeah.
And luck is not like you won the lottery.
Right.
Luck is you put in the work.
Yes, you create
then
the opportunities
finally-
for the lucky break to come.
Of course. It's
Of
like
course.
Malcolm Gladwell's film,
100%.
I think Tipping Point, which is he talks about that, which is like the Beatles.
Yeah.
It was magic.
Yeah.
They came along at the right time. So whatever you're doing, it may take longer.
Right.
Because it took me 20 years, man.
Sure.
And
Oh, yeah, dude.
I just won my first award last night. 20 years.
Awesome. Yeah.
I mean, can I have
For
given
sure.
up? Of course.
100%.
Did I? No.
100%.
This is what I do.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
don't stop. Just keep doing what you do.
But the persistence creates the opportunities
It
for
does.
the luck to find you.
And you have to have the right people around you.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, your wife
Yeah.
and my wife
It's
and your
under-
partner, whoever your partner
Yeah,
is.
man.
If they don't believe in you, then it's over. If they do believe in you, you can win the world for sure.
Yeah. No, that's. I mean, I feel good about this show. That's why I'm doing it. That's why I wanted you on.
Yeah.
The fact that you came on, I'm fucking
I love you, man.
awesome, man. This
It's
was
been a
fucking
long time
fun,
coming.
dude. This is awesome. Congrats to the movie.
Oh,
Congrats
congrats.
to the awards.
Well, congrats to the show.
By the way,
The Chug.
I'm not going to be quite as.
I'm all about promotion, man.
I'm not going to be quite as. Emmys and Oscars about.
Oh, man, look at
Brian,
this.
Cheers, man.
Cheers, man.
Kush, thanks
Well,
for coming.
yeah,
Cheers.
well, thanks for
Our
having
pizza,
me.
get some grub
I've
on
known you
after our
for
drinking.
15 plus
It's
years.
been a long time.
But people should probably watch the trailer of This World Won't
They
Break.
should.
It's on YouTube.
Such a thing.
It's a thing right now.
It's
We
a
just
thing.
won the audience award, so
Of course it did.
go
Why
watch the
wouldn't-
trailer and you can see it in your hometown on Netflix or in a theater or on iTunes very, very soon.
That's fucking rad.
Yeah, man.
It doesn't get any better. Hey,
doesn't.
Chug Styles, the name of it. Let's kill
How
this
many
fucker.
beers have we had
I don't know,
together?
but let's kill this. Ready? Go. Baltic Porter is big.
I did it though.
You're rad. See you,
I love
brother.
you, man.
Be good, man. All right, brother. We're out.
Hey,
Have a good
watch
time.
the Chug.
Thanks,
Come on. Shut it up.